cheese as ice cream. And I know some of you might think that doesn't sound like that correlates to deliciousness on my taste buds. Some of you may think that, and you are wrong. You are wrong for thinking that. Okay.
True.
This brand has gone from his apartment kitchen to 400 plus Sprouts stores all across the country, and he's going up and to the right from there. I'm talking about the one and only Joe Rotondo, founder and CEO of Smearcase. Joe, get in here.
What's up, y'all? I appreciate you guys having me today.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We've been excited to have you on here, brother. I would say this product, Smearcase, and you being the protein dealer, to me, it's so interesting. It's so interesting. And man, I would love if you would just take us back and just give all our listeners who maybe don't know, and give us some perspective on origin story here. Man, how did you go from bringing cottage cheese in its native state to making it delicious and bringing a better for you ice cream product to the American market? How did that actually happen?
Yeah, I appreciate the intro. There's definitely a shock factor to what we're doing. The name in itself, your case, cottage cheese, right? Ice cream, like all these sort of buzzwords. So there's a lot going on, but yeah, the origin goes as I was training for a marathon in June of 2023, was craving ice cream after a tough workout. And I'm a big nutrition label guy, so I'm pulling out every single pint of ice cream to see which one had the most amount of protein. Except I quickly remember that ice cream is truly terrible for you.
Yeah.
And that's when the light bulb moment went off, was like, this is crazy that there's no protein in ice cream, because ice cream is made from dairy. Dairy is a great source of protein. So how is there no protein in ice cream? So I go home and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to eat my go-to healthy dessert, which is a bowl of cottage cheese, honey, and blueberries. And that's when the light bulb moment went off. It was like, wow, nobody's making high protein ice cream. Nobody's doing frozen cottage cheese. And then that's where I saw immediate white space. And to be truly disruptive, you gotta be innovative, right? I didn't want to just put protein powder into ice cream and call it high protein. We want it to be functional, have high nutritional value, and just pack a pint with as much value as possible, and doing that through real whole foods.
Love that. I mean, I think that's impressive in and of itself. The thought, and going from light bulb to this needs to happen to this needs to exist.
Yeah.
I can imagine that. I can imagine going to, hey, now it's here and it tastes great. I can imagine that delta was significant. I mean, how do you go from light bulb to, hey, now we've got examples, cottage cheese, it tasting awesome, and it being valued. I mean, as much value inside of a pint as possible. What did that look like on your side?
Yeah, that's the goal. That was the goal, right? Like, I come from I have a background in food. I made bagels for my dad. He's owned Deli's restaurant, so I love cooking. I love cooking with my hands. I love ingredients. I love health, fitness, wellness, right? And true health lives in the ingredient list. So I just asked myself, what ingredients are necessary in ice cream? What can we add and what can we subtract? So every single ingredient must serve a purpose in our pint. And that means using cottage cheese and making that the number one ingredient, so have the most amount of cottage cheese as possible, removing heavy cream so it's low in fat, using real sugar because that's integral to ice cream, and it's a lower process sweetener. And then we're adding collagen as like this incredible power tool that gives more nutritional value. It serves a clear purpose, adds a creaminess and a texture to our FroCo that just leaves it unmatched. But
wow,
me and my sister were making this in my little New York City apartment kitchen with the ice cream maker, and honestly on like the third or fourth try, we found a formula that was just too good to be true. And that was just a result of us, really looking at the numbers and really looking at what ingredients we need and what we don't need, and yeah, we got it pretty quick.
Wow. Previously, Joe, right before you jumped on, we were covering David, and they've kind of teased the fact that they're going to be launching some protein ice cream. We're novices to this. We don't know about the ingredient list. One of their key kind of footholds that they talk about is this EPG thing. Do you know about this? Can you shed some light onto this? Because it seems like your focus is super clean ingredients and, stuff that should be in your body. We're trying to understand kind of all of this and the nutrition's behind, David, 150 calories. Could you talk a little bit about that?
In this, I obviously it is my industry. Clear divide of science-based, super like how can we hack the system in terms of longevity, GLP-1, most protein. We're doing that in the lab, right, in a scientific way. And then there's a more holistic approach, all natural foods, single ingredient whole foods, clean eating, ingredients before macros. So I think we're seeing these two ideologies of health sort of run parallel, right? And that comes in a variety of ways, not just in food, right? Fitness and this longevity trend. But EPG is essentially an artificial fat agent. So it's a binding system, and it's super low calorie, very efficient to use. But there is evidence that it does cause gut issues, that is battled by David. And listen, like, we're both trying to arrive at high protein. We're just doing it in different ways.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, the EPG thing is interesting. Allulose is another interesting artificial sweetener that is super low calorie and again hacks the system of dopamine and get that sweetness. So it's interesting to see how these formulas sort of play together. I haven't looked at the detailed macros or ingredients of the David ice cream, so I can't really speak to it. But I'll be interested to see it come out. It's great for the category that we're building. High protein ice cream is definitely here.
Yeah.
We still remain the only cottage cheese based ice cream, so we're really bullish and excited about that.
Let's go.
Man, I love that not only are you pushing out in this emerging category that has a lot of heat behind it,
Yeah.
but you're doing it with a unique ingredient, and you've got this unique name, FroCo. Now, to me, it looks like you had in mind, like, hey, we want to create a category as we do this. We want to blaze a trail. And I would guess you probably trademarked that bad boy. I mean, did you? I mean, was that intentional? You had this in mind from the beginning, really blazing the trail for FroCo?
Yeah. What's funny is when we were looking at some names out of short list, and Smearcase kept popping off the page, right? It was just bold. It was polarizing, but it was like strong and action worthy. And it literally means cottage cheese. It comes from a German phrase, Smearcase, which the Pennsylvania Dutch used when they came over to America in like the 1800s, and they called cottage cheese Smearcase. So it's an ode to our not so secret ingredient being cottage cheese. So that was first, right? And I just couldn't find a different brand name to go with because you got to stand out in this day and age. You're fighting for attention. If you look at the category set of ice cream, it's all first names, which seems a little bit boring to me. And then it sort of leans gluttonous and whimsical, right? We want it to be, we wanted to say strength, protein, functionality. FroCo we coined that term a little bit later on, and that's what we call the product. The product is FroCo, short for frozen cottage cheese, synonymous with sort of the frozen dessert aisle.
Right.
And we trademarked both terms to build our moat and to really plant our flag in the fact that we're the first movers. And we have the opportunity to sort of set the standard for what this product can be. And it's a great opportunity. Like, we're very fortunate and grateful for.
I think I lost him.
And set the a competitor will, no matter when. We know that. So we're doing we're doing the most to build our moat at this point of the journey.
So, Joe, you built this off the back of basically, I'm training for a marathon. I'm consuming and burning a lot of calories all the time. Are you trying to embed yourself within that, runner community, that marathon community? Or are you saying, hey, we want to tackle all of the fitness world, running aside, you can be high rocks, you can be anything. But are you trying to specifically embed yourself within running?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I think at the onset, yes, just because I was solving my own problem. I was very active in the New York City fitness community. We would bring early iterations of the product just to get feedback from athletes and our actual target customer. You got to be niche, right? You got to really niche down in the beginning and really speak to really understanding, like, okay, there's more to our market. How can we target women? How can we target parents? How can we target how can we provide an alternative to children to still deliver that indulgent ice cream, but give them a little bit more nutritional value? So I think, yeah, we're still in the early days, and we're still really focused on that natural channel, that more premium market. But something that we're asking ourselves is, how can we reach the masses? How can we speak to sort of, how can we stay sort of tight on who we are to our core, but how can we sort of broaden our reach to widen that audience? Because we are bullish that this product is more, it isn't just for the runner. It's for that, that person looking to indulge, but getting a little bit something out of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I wonder, Joe, I know you've gone from your apartment kitchen to you're everywhere in Sprouts now. And I think you've probably got even more coming. In that regard, more places and such. And what unlocked that opportunity for you? Because in just such a short time, we're talking 2 or 3 years, that run is incredible. And was it the California Milk Advisory Board, or what really took you guys to the next level and unlocked those opportunities that now you're seeing everywhere?
Yeah, I think it's timing. Timing is so important, right? There's 4 factors that go into a startup. It's the product, it's the people, it's capital, and then it's timing. Timing is proven to be the most important, the most important variable of success, right?
Wow.
People know that cottage cheese is good for them because of good culture. People want ice cream, and they want it in new, novel, innovative, and healthier ways. And this whole protein movement is happening, right? So timing plays such a big role in our success. I also think the shock factor and the virality of cottage cheese ice cream. It's like, whoa, like, wow, right? Like, to so many people, it's like, this is crazy. But then there's so many people, it's like, this makes so much sense. And then for some people, it's like, this is wild. I need to try it, right? So, and then honestly, a ton of hard work goes into it. It's an everyday battle. We're waking up every single day, getting the job done and going after what we need to do. But we put ourselves in a position to get a little bit lucky. We launched at the Fancy Food Show in 2024, and Whole Foods buyers were there, Sprouts buyers were there. And a month after that, we got reached out to do a regional launch. So there's a ton of factors that go into it, but I think, giving yourself a shot and a chance at success requires good timing and positioning yourself to get a little bit lucky. And some of it is chance, and some of it is strategic. I think you gotta play the game like a chessboard that it is.
Love that.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you're really thinking about this like a true, I would say, more of like an analyst instead of just, some founders we have on the show. It's very much they're all marketing, pure grit, but it seems like you're coming at this more from a 10,000-foot view of analyzing everything. What's for the future for you guys? I mean, you guys are in insane amount of stores already. What is it? You guys are going to be in all of Sam's Club, all of Costco, all of Whole Foods. What is it? What's next?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think when you have you got to get your hands in the weeds. At the beginning, it's a little bit of gut intuition and a little bit of vibes, right? But I think as you get your reps in, you understand, like, man, this is a business. It's not a hobby. It's not a game.
Yeah.
It's a true business. How can we treat it as such? How can we capitalize on the opportunity at hand and run our race, play our game, and go out and compete? I think that's like the competitor in me. I just love the process. I love the work. I love showing up every day and seeing what I'm made of. And I think as you grow a business, right, you're growing yourself, and those two you got to do at the same time. Because the stage gets bigger, the stakes get higher. But what's next? Like, we're coming off of a nationwide launch in Sprouts, so you can find us there. We won a pitch competition at Expo West, won $200K from Albertsons, and they want to launch us, which is very surreal. We're still sort of riding that high, but also as you're riding that high, you're like, how the heck is this going to happen? So like, what's next is like, we want, we want to dominate Sprouts and Whole Foods. Those are our top two retailers, right? That's where our customer is. That's where we can really go out and compete, because the customer is sort of cost agnostic, and they're looking for health and innovative ways. So the natural channel and then conventional, I think it's on us to execute. I think we have a really special opportunity at hand right now, and it's just on us to go out and take care of business.
Man, tell us this, Joe, because this is, I think, a significant question for a lot of brands. Maybe they lean heavier D2C, e-com, or vice versa, heavily on retail, etc. When you launch, you're getting into Albertsons now. That's such an important opportunity that you have to crush and own that. What's the playbook look like? Because, we've seen what, Josh and Aligned Growth has done with Update, the new Kim K drink, and what they're doing there. What does the playbook look like for you guys? Because I imagine it has to be more than just like, our product is awesome, it's going to go and it's going to sell because it's awesome. What's the playbook look like to actually make that happen and make sure that pints are moving?
It's full court press, high speed offense, the scoring triangle, you name it, we're doing it. You know what I mean? Like you like having a good product is one thing, but getting people to grab it off the shelf and inspect it, that's another thing. And then to convert the customer is the ultimate goal, is the ultimate quest. So I think now we're really trying to think about our marketing approach and how can we come at customers from all angles, test different approaches, test different where we sort of sinking in how are they converting. And I think we're monitoring all of that, and we're still testing different strategies. Do store demos perform better than a UGC campaign? Does a UGC campaign perform better than a digital couponing service? So, all these things are sort of on our switchboard, and we're pulling all the levers strategically, and we're timing them and phasing them out. And listen, like, again, we've only been in market for 20 months. How can we then, and we have limited data we have a 1 full year in market, right? Limited data to look at. So what I'm really excited to dig my heels into is, looking at the data stories, seeing which levers drive the most ROI, what's dead weight, and what can we pour more gas on to get that, sort of ROAS up, that ROI. But it's a constant, like, listen to the data, follow those stories, listen to the trend lines, listen to customers. But I think, the more you are everywhere, we live in an attention economy. So you just, at the end of the day, you sort of just never know, especially this early in the stage.
I dig it, man. Full court press.
Joe, when I'm hearing you talk, it reminds me of Marcus at Minted, how he's looking at the business from this kind of performance standpoint. It also reminds me of Michael at Ketone IQ, the founder of Ketone IQ. It also reminds me of Steven at Cuts Clothing, where he's saying the sport of business. Yeah. Are you working with any of these guys? Because it seems like such a natural synergy between you two to just work together and do a collaboration of, Cuts Smearcase, Cuts
there we go.
Ketone IQ. Like let's roll one of these out. What are we doing here?
I love it.
Man, just to be mentioned the same sentence as some of those guys is such an honor. Like, I look up to I admire what they're doing. They serve as an inspiration. I've interacted with them a handful of times, just like over the digital sort of world. But man, I appreciate that. It would be incredible to collaborate in some way. But yeah, that means a lot.
I'll tell you too, Albertsons just rolled out a new digital ad network inside their stores. Next time I'm in Albertsons, I want to see Smearcase up on those screens shouting at me to come over to the FroCo aisle and get my pint. Man, Joe, we really appreciate you coming on the show, brother. We love what you're doing inside of the space. Of course, we're going to stick up with you, and we want you to come back. Man, tell everybody if they want to go grab their Smearcase today, and where should they find it? What flavor should they have first? Man, tell everybody where to go get what you cooking. Oh, I think we lost him.
Wine and Sprouts. If there's not a you're looking at a store near you, you can order it online for delivery. But yeah, be on the lookout. You can follow us on Instagram at Eat Smearcase or TikTok, or you can follow myself on LinkedIn at Joseph Rotondo. But it was great talking to you both, and I'm looking forward to the next chapter.
Awesome. We appreciate you, Joe. Thank you,
Thank
man.
you so much. Take care.